And we're live.
Hey.
Hi, it's Dr. Amy with Amethyst Wellness, and I'm here with Jerry, ARNP, and this is our first live discussion. Today's topic is peptide therapy. We've been doing, or Jerry's been doing a lot of research on peptides. It's a very exciting advance in medical technology. So Jerry, what's a peptide?
Well, simply, a peptide is a signal. It's amino acids put together in a chain, and it's how the body communicates, how the body gets you or different organs to do different things.
Okay, so the main peptide everyone's talking about right now, of course, is the peptide for immune functioning or immune enhancement. So tell us about that.
Thymosin alpha 1. Thymosin alpha 1 is something that actually was isolated from the thymus gland, and the thymus gland is kind of the brains of the immune system, which tends to degenerate after about the age of 30. And so thymosin alpha 1 has been around for quite a while. Its job is to excite the cytokines, energize the immune system, but also even more than that, what we're dealing with now with COVID-19 is it's an envelope virus, which means that it slips by the immune system until it enters the cell and begins to lyse inside of the cell. What thymosin alpha is very good at is being able to identify cells that are in senescence.
Senescence, that's a big word.
That is a big word.
What
it means is when the cells are infected or invaded, it takes a moment to pause. And what it does is it starts to put out cytokines, interleukins, different things, distress signals more or less, pro-inflammatory distress signals. Thymosin alpha is very good at identifying those cells and presenting those cells to the immune system so that they're identified and eliminated.
Okay. So how is thymosin alpha administered?
Thymosin alpha is administered through subcutaneous injection, tiny little needles, insulin needles, and usually in the belly or in your fat. We can find any fat. I know a lot of us can't find any fat, but it's just like giving an insulin injection, something along those lines. What we recommend during these times would be 0.15 milliliters once a day, and very, very small amount. And you would only be doing that during times when you want to really boost your immune system. Thymosin alpha is also a very powerful antiviral in addition to all the other things it does as far as exciting the immune system and identifying cells that are in distress.
So let's say somebody's in a really high-risk occupation right now and has a lot of potential exposure, definitely benefit from something like this.
Absolutely. So anybody who wants to travel, anybody who has potential to be exposed to a viral infection similar to COVID-19. But really, there are a lot of people. Thymosin alpha 1 had fewer side effects than the placebo groups. So it's a very, very safe peptide. And for people in general who just want to boost their immune system, there are folks who really just take it on a regular basis. Maybe not as often as the 0.15 daily, but in a week they'll take it, and it's actually been shown to work very well.
So how long would someone stay on this medication?
Well, at this point, that's almost like asking, when is all this going to be over? It's, who knows when this is going to be over. So probably for right now, 0.15 for the duration of daily would be what I would be recommending. Okay. Under normal circumstances, if I was going to go travel or something and I wanted to boost my immune system, then I could start myself on thymosin for 30 days and then maybe stop after that.
Okay, so a typical prequel, if you would be 30 days?
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances. Sure. Okay, and right now nothing's normal, so we just kind of figure it out as we go. So let's say someone's interested in this medication, what would they do?
Well, they would contact us. As I see, it looks like we've got a number of people contacting already. But they would contact us, 386-283-4180 at Amethyst Wellness. Now, here's the big advantage that I want to let everybody know. As far as peptides go, we're pretty new in the game. We've been doing hormone replacement for quite a while, but we have a huge ally in tailor-made compounding. Tailor-made compounding is the premier compounder in the United States, and they are the experts in peptide therapy. And they're pretty much who are advising us on a lot of these peptide therapies, and the reason we can speak with a certain amount of authority is tailor-made compounding.
I think one thing we've really been fortunate is to have partners in this industry. With whatever we do, we really try to connect with people that have been doing this for a very long time, so that as we venture into these areas, we have resources and we can definitely more comfortably administer these therapies.
Are you able at all to see what the questions are? There's some folks that are...
I don't see any questions yet, but feel free to post. You guys will answer as we can. And
people joining. That's what that is.
Yeah. First time. So yeah, any questions you have, if we are unable to answer them now, we'll certainly get back to you and do what we can.
Right.
So anyone interested in Thymosin?
Alpha 1.
Alpha 1.
Thymosin Alpha 1.
People who are clients with us already, it's fairly simple. We've already done some sort of health history. We have a relationship. A lot of what we can do now can be done telephonically. So as you can see, we're closed just for a little while. But we can do this through the telephone, and that way we keep everyone safe. And then we can have the medication shipped directly to your home.
Right. So there are different peptides do different things, and different peptides have different safety profiles. And so I want everybody to be aware of that there are certain, with Thymosin Alpha 1, as I said, the control groups, the placebo groups, had more side effects than the Thymosin Alpha 1 groups in studies. So I feel confident in people who already have health summaries with us, and we already know you, that all you have to do is contact us, and we can get some Thymosin Alpha 1 out to you. And it can be all handled through mail order.
Is there anyone who's not a candidate for this medication?
Really not. Thymosin Alpha 1, even if you're immunocompromised, you're a candidate. If you are elderly, you're a candidate. Anybody who needs to boost their immune system, Thymosin Alpha 1 is a good way to go. There are other peptides that I would say, nah, we need a workup, we need some specific labs, we need to know exactly where you're at right now with your health and your different comorbidities, but Thymosin Alpha 1 is not one of those peptides.
Okay, great. Very good. So other peptides you've been working with, the CJC and ipamorelin, that's a very popular one right now as well. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So they have the CJC and the ipamorelin, also very well studied, CJC 1295 and ipamorelin, and it's basically for folks who are more interested in weight loss and body sculpting, and in general, just feeling good.
Who isn't interested in weight loss and body sculpting?
Right, absolutely, and that's why it's so popular, and that's really why what's brought peptides into the forefront. CJC and ipamorelin and sermorelin and some of the other, tesamorelin, some of the other, these are known as growth hormone secretagogues. Growth hormone itself has gotten a bad rap in the past because it's been abused by weightlifters and folks who are interested in building muscle. And these are not growth hormone, these are secretagogues. These are peptides that get the anterior pituitary to put out human growth hormone. Once again, peptides are just amino acids put together in a chain. They're a message. Messages that the body already knows how to send. But as we get older, the body stops sending a lot of these signals. And what you're doing is, actually some really, really smart biochemist guys went ahead and figured out these signals, how to put the amino acids together in specific chains, and you're injecting those. What you're doing is you're coming back to a state of you're telling the anterior pituitary, go ahead, put out more human growth hormone. That's going to the liver and getting the liver to secrete what's known as IGF-1, and IGF-1 causes things to grow.
Okay, so how does it cause weight loss if it's making things grow?
Right, what it's doing is it's causing fat to burn.
And
Because what you're doing with more lean muscle, it works on muscle tissue, and it gets the muscle tissue to get larger. The muscle tissue uses resources more efficiently, uses oxygen more efficiently, and starts to burn fat more efficiently.
So now women that are using this therapy, are they going to end up with huge muscles, or what's going to go?
No, so now there are different types of growth hormone secretagogues, and they work on different receptors in the anterior pituitary. So if you, there's different ones, you'll hear terms like MK677, right. You'll hear tesamorelin, and they work on slightly different receptors. There's things called A receptors and B receptors in the anterior pituitary. I see little hearts floating,
and that's just awesome. Thank you.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that was. So, MK677, for example, would be for people, the weightlifters out there that want to put on increased muscle. There are things called SARMs, which actually, the testosterone therapy that you do, you know that testosterone therapy?
That's next week's conversation, right?
The SARMs actually work on the receptors to make them more receptive to the testosterone that you're giving to them. So for guys who want to build muscle, MK677 is a good way to go. Together with the SARMs, together with your testosterone is a pretty darn good combination.
So basically, this therapy can be individualized. So anyone who is interested in peptide therapy would come talk to you or call you on the phone, because we're doing things telephonically right now. Right. And you would say, okay, what are your goals? What's your health history? You just review everything, and then you would make a recommendation for a specific peptide.
Absolutely, and here's what's really important. And depending upon whether you go to YouTube and get your information or go on the internet, one thing that you have to realize is that this is when they call it tailor-made, they really do mean it's tailor-made. It's based on your gender, your age, your comorbidities. There's a lot that goes into this. Whether you want to turn the cells on, or you want to turn the cells off, or you want to work on the mitochondria, there's a whole bunch of things that go into this. So you asked in particular before about CJC and ipamorelin. Right. And what CJC, the magic about that particular one, the reason it's the most popular peptide, is because it causes the weight loss. It causes the fat burning over a period of 3 months. It's not overnight. But one thing that you do feel right away is you feel a relaxing, calming, overall good feeling in your body. And that's followed by increase in deep wave sleep. And then you have the reduction in fat, increase in exercise tolerance, but it's not that you're going to grow with this particular one big muscles. Right. Okay? It's more body shaping, body sculpting. It's slower and more just wellness.
Okay, great. Now, is there anybody who shouldn't have this particular peptide?
Yeah, there are. When you're talking about the secretagogues, this particular peptide, not talking about any other, but this particular one, angiogenesis is a possibility. As a matter of fact, it's a definite. As you're building increased muscle, you're going to have what's known as angiogenesis. You're going to have increased vasculature going to feed those muscles. Right. The caution is this, and it hasn't shown up in the research, but it's my particular caution. My concern is that if you have an active cancer and you cause angiogenesis, there's potential that you could allow that cancer or help that cancer to metastasize.
That's why a good health history is so important. We've had, with anything you can get it off the black market, off the internet, from China, right? So please don't do that. Really, getting it through a reputable source is so important, and also getting a qualified health professional to administer it to you is very, very important.
Do you know there's a statistic out there that says that 80% of what you get on the internet is not what you think it is?
Right.
There was even a case for erectile dysfunction where a fellow was getting something, I guess, from a gas station, and it turned out to be a component of crystal meth. He went to his doctor found that out, and he said, "Hey doc, it's working." "Yeah, but you're taking crystal."
Oh, not good.
So,
So just be careful with what you put in your body. Um, so I'd like to get back to the immune system, actually. So we talked about the alpha thymosin 1. What other peptides can we use to enhance our immune system?
well, there's also another peptide called CELAC, which is inhaled. It's not an injection. You can inhale it, and it's a Russian peptide. And there's a lot of really good research. It actually was designed to be more of an anxiolytic. And
for anxiety.
Right, for anxiety. And they found that it had huge antiviral properties. And so it has a benefit. I have taken CELAC myself.
Oh, how'd that go?
It didn't go so well. The first day that I took it, I was here in the clinic, and really all I wanted to do was go to sleep.
So you took it during the day.
I took it during the day.
Sleepiness.
Right, and so I came out to Marge over at the front, and I said, "I'm not doing any more CELAC. I'm done with CELAC." But the next day I figured, okay, let me try it before bed. And I took it before bed, and I had a wonderful night's sleep. Just really, really good. And the next day, I wasn't anxious, and it became easy to take. The other thing I will tell you is that its delivery system sucks. It's a spray, it's a mist. It's good for 15 days. And that's the only correction. It doesn't taste terribly bad, no, but it's just getting the right, I found some difficulty getting the right.
You really care for that method of administration.
Not really,
So
not
you
really.
prefer injections to...
Oh, the injections are nothing. And nobody knows more than you. I'm the biggest baby around. And so, no, the injections are absolutely painless. And
So you mentioned this really helped you sleep, and that's also when we're talking about our immune system. Adequate sleep is so essential. It's to us being well, and when we're sleep deprived, when we're stressed, it taxes the immune system and it makes us more susceptible to the things we're exposed to. So good sleep is part of our discussion, I think.
And that's one of the bigger things too about the peptides is that, or producing testosterone, endogenous testosterone. The more you sleep, the better quality sleep you get, the more you heal, and the more testosterone you produce naturally. So, and don't forget also, another thing about the thymosin alpha 1 is it allows and encourages your own endogenous production of glutathione. Also, an antioxidant. And if we're talking about concerns with COVID, one of the concerns about COVID-19 is your respiratory status. The fact alveolar edema, which makes it very, very hard to ventilate people with that problem, and that's due to oxidative damage. And so that's the reason why we're always talking about things like vitamin C, etc. But with thymosin alpha 1, you're also being helped to produce glutathione. That's another effect of it.
And glutathione, we've mentioned this in our blogs, and we do it as part of our IV treatments, but very, very powerful antioxidant with antiviral properties. It can be taken orally as well. So we do have a link, and I can repost it, a really good source of liposomal glutathione, and that allows, the liposomal part of it allows it to escape the digestive products of the stomach. Otherwise it would get dissolved and it wouldn't be available to you. But that's something, we're all wondering what we can do to be healthier and to get through this.
Right.
But oral vitamin C, very, very important. The liposomal glutathione, in addition to washing your hands and trying to manage your stress, and avoiding exposure when you can. Just it's hard. It's really hard to do, and that was not a decision we took lightly when we chose to shut down here. So.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. And even the president was talking about a medication, an oral medication that's an anti-malarial medication. Guess what?
Right.
It's a peptide. Just saying. It's not just peptides are something that you're going to be hearing a lot more about, whether it's in the anti-aging realm, whether it's in weight loss, whether it's to immune modulation, hair regrowth, and if we want to talk about sexual function, the first female sexual dysfunction medication is a peptide that works on the hypothalamus. So if you got nothing else to do, if you're isolated, gals, you know, this is bremelanotide. PT141 is another peptide that works directly on the hypothalamus.
All right. So I know we've covered a lot of topics today. We do have this all in writing on our blogs, and you can find that on our website under Media Blog. And you can find out everything you've wanted to know about peptides and more. And feel free to instant message us, post some questions. We'd be happy to answer them the best we can. And you know, our phone lines are still open, so give us a call if anyone wants to talk more. Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, just again, stay safe. We look forward to seeing you all again once this whole thing is over.
Can't wait to see you.
Yeah, and be well.
All right, stay healthy, everyone. And string close up.